So it is the day before the CrossFit workout that I'm doing. So just a little bit of context. It is a in-house competition. It's broken up into 4 or 5 WODs. So far I've seen 4 workouts, which I will be going through in a minute. And I am going to go through what I've been doing in prep for the workouts, and a little bit about how I'm feeling. So, firstly, I've been feeling a little bit rubbish just because I injured myself last week. My back's feeling a lot better. I exercised yesterday, albeit controlled and slower than what I would usually do, and lighter. I'm also feeling a little bit nervous because I don't know how my body's going to cope. I am in my second trimester, as you can tell. This is what I look like right now. And I am really haven't worked out particularly hard for about 2 months. So we will see. The workouts are all manageable for me. However, I will have to scale or modify some of the movements, mainly burpees. And the other one is butterfly sit-ups. So I'll be doing that. I don't know what they've got in plan for me, but I guess I'll find out tomorrow. Apart from that, so far what I've been doing this week is I've trained twice. I've done 2 classes, a circuits class and yoga so far. And today I'm also going to be doing strength and conditioning. So it's been very slow, but I've been doing loads of walking just to kind of keep moving, make sure I'm not sitting down. And by loads of walking, I mean, I wish I'd tracked it somehow, maybe my steps, because I think I set an all-time record for myself in terms of dog walking across the week. And I've been doing loads of stretching just to in prep for the competition and to just optimize my back as much as possible. I struggled with a little bit of pain. Today I feel much better than I have after yoga yesterday and 2 consistent days of stretching. I will also stretch again today, and tomorrow morning I'm hoping to wake up, do a dog walk, and then do a stretch before I even get to the competition, just because I want to do as much as possible to prepare my back for movement. But also I know when I get there, there's just not going to be any time for warming up. It's just one of those things where you get to a competition and everyone's so excited, you're still figuring out where you need to be, what you need to do. There's briefings, there's catching up with other people that are going to be there because I'll know people. So it's all of that craziness that happens when you get to the event, which is why it's important that I prep before I get there. Other than that, we will see how it goes. I've also been conscious about what I've been eating this week. This morning I've started off with a protein shake. And in particular today, I'm specifically or particularly focused on what I'm digesting because of tomorrow. And I want to make sure that I can do as much as possible to make it an enjoyable process. I have prepped myself, as you will see, some tuna and sweet corn with rice and some chicken snacks and nectarine. So we will see how it goes. Okay, so this is how the WODs are broken up. It's actually 3 main WODs, but WOD 3 is broken up into 2 parts. So it's kind of like 4 WODs, but we'll call it 3. So WOD number 1 is 2159 calories on the Echo bike. So we will probably split that up 50-50. So one of us does 10 cals, one of us does 11 cals for the first part. And then for the second part of the cals, we would do, 7 and 8. And then for the last bit, 5 and 4. Or maybe just finish with like one person doing 9. We will see. See how dead we are. And then obviously it doesn't work like that. It's not, I don't think it's cals 2159. It's going to be cals, pull-ups, burpees, box jumps. So realistically, we're going to do 21 cals on the Echo bike, followed by 21 pull-ups. So the way that I think we're going to break that up is me doing 3 pull-ups and then Sam doing 8 pull-ups for the first round. And then we repeat that again. And then for the second round, it would be 3, then 5, 3, then 5, and 3, then 5, 3, then 4, just because of the numbers, a bit annoying. And then for the last one, 3, then 5. And then for the burpee box jumps, 5 and 6, I don't know what they're going to let me do. For example, like I'm happy to do this RX, but I can't touch the ground with my tummy. Like I can't release my hands off the ground. So I really hope I'm not penalised for that. I'm happy to do something as equally hard, like just a burpee pregnant is equally hard without putting your tummy onto the floor. But I get they have to have standards. So we will see. And then after each round, so after you've done 21 cows on the echo bike, 21 pull-ups, 21 burpee box jumps, you have to do 2 synchro wall walks. So my wall walk, we will have to see. I might just have a quick try at the gym today and just see how it feels. I mean, by that point, I'll be extremely warm, so that won't be the problem. It will be mainly be getting my chest to the ground because I can't do that. So we may even have to scale this just not even out of choice, which is a shame. But then for the second WOD, we can definitely do this RX. However, for example, there are sit-ups in it and I physically can't, like I'm not allowed to do sit-ups. So it's a 12-minute you go, I go AMRAP, 50 calorie row buy-in. So we'll split that up 10 cows each until we reach 50. Sam will most likely do 30 and I'll do 20 cows. Then we've got 25 double unders, which I'll be fine with, 10 sit-ups. Such a shame because it's such a easy movement for me. And then 5 wall balls. The only concern that I have with wall balls is my ability to get depth just because of my lower back. Usually I'm great at them, but I don't know how I'll be. And it's only 5, so it's quite a quick movement, quite quick rounds. And then WOD 3 is split up into 3 parts. I'm reading this off of Facebook post, so I'm not 100% sure how it works. But part A is 35 kilo power cleans, as many as you can in 1 minute. Then your partner does the same, but because it's a man, he does 50 kilo power cleans. We do that twice. And then part B is 35 kilos front squats, as many as you can in 1 minute. His is 50 times 2. And then you get 5 minutes to achieve 1 squat clean into 2 overhead press. So your heaviest squat clean into 2 overhead press, which if I was not injured would be fine. But because it's a squat clean, so I have to break parallel, is going to be tough. And that's pretty much it. So they're the 3 main workouts. Really fun workouts I'm really going to enjoy, and I wish I wasn't injured because I'd enjoy it more. And even if I wasn't pregnant, I'd even enjoy it even more because I'd actually probably do quite well. But I know that tomorrow, like even if we come last, I'm going to have fun, and it's all about me challenging myself during pregnancy and just sustaining physical activity and just doing something that is empowering for myself. And it's not really about anybody else or what anybody else thinks. It's genuinely just to prove myself that my body is so powerful and amazing, despite what most people think pregnant people should be like when they're pregnant. You know, like, yes, we feel nauseous. Yes, we have to be careful, but we're not disabled. And I don't want to use that in a derogatory term because a lot of disabled people are incredibly strong, independent people. And it's more of a matter of the way that society perceives pregnant people. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm really excited and nervous at the same time. I'm going to be doing loads of stretching, and hopefully I can record some good content on the day. But because I don't know how chaotic it's going to be, it's a really small gym. The footage might not be great, but we hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a good spot and I can show you a little bit of what happens whilst working out. So tomorrow's the CrossFit competition, and I'm making sure that I'm all fueled up with some sweet caught tuna and rice for my lunch. And I've also got some satay chicken skewers, just increasing my protein intake the day before and making sure that I'm feeling fueled. So we have packed up. Sam is currently in the shower and I am or will be ready to go in a minute, I'm going to quickly walk the dog around for maybe 15 minutes and then we'll leave. Just setting up to stretch just before we get to the comp because I never stretch when I'm there, and Biggie's decided to join me. So I start the stretch with a child's pose to ease off my back, decompress my spine and open up my hips. So I then move into my upward dog just to open up my hip flexors, really stretch out my tummy muscles and also just get some blood flow to my lower spine. And the reason I'm doing most of this is because, as I said before, the stretches are really helping decompress my spine, where I've got a lot of stress from the pregnancy. It relieves tension in the back muscles and also opens up the hips to increase flexibility. I also find that when I do upward dog, it improves the tension throughout my body, especially through my spine, hips and upper legs. So I just really find that the upward dog is such a beneficial movement, especially when dynamic. I then move into my pigeon pose, which I find is really, really good for stretching out my hips, glutes and thighs. This is such a deep hip opener because it really gets into the hip flexors as well as the piriformis, and also helps relieve that lower back pain, which I'm super worried about when it comes to today's CrossFit competition. I then moved into some supine stretches, which I have recorded out of focus, but we live and we learn. So, this part of the stretch was made up of torso rotations, hip openers, hamstring and hip stretches, as well as up-down dog, and then I finished off with some assisted squat stretches. We arrived to CrossFit Hunter in Marden, and we were able to watch other athletes compete before because we were in Heat 5. We started our first WOD, which was made up of calories on the bike, pull-ups and burpee box jumps, as well as wall walks. We weren't able to do RX just because I can't do burpee box jumps pregnant because I can't fully put my body on the floor. So that's a shame, but I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. However, I did find that the walks were really hard because of the pressure, and the kipping pull-ups were also quite tough just because I haven't done them in a very long time. I would also say that if we had been able to do this RX, we would have scored a lot better, which I will talk about later on in this episode. But at the same time, it was really enjoyable. I was really worried about this exercise in particular, or this session in particular, just because of the various exercises that I'd find challenging being pregnant. So we've just finished our workout, and you take the absolute mick. Stop, Samuel. So we've just finished our workout and we are going to a coffee shop to just have a little bit of a break. It's very crowded in there. We've got probably about an hour till we restart our next WOD. But I did, and I felt like I did a lot better and survived better than I thought I would, considering that was probably the hardest workout just because of the amount of movements that I thought I'd struggle with. I was absolutely starving by the time I got back, so I had a chicken wrap which we had bought from a Turkish restaurant the night before, and this was the best decision. So after that pause, I needed to re-warm up, so I managed to hop on a bike and just get my blood flowing, get my legs moving again, warming up my whole body because I'd got cold, and just encouraging that blood flow to all of those lower leg muscles. I then did some dynamic stretching, opening up the hips, followed by some warbles, which was great practice just before the WOD. That was classic Matt. He's one of our coaches. He's a lot of fun. So we just waited for our next heat to start. So managed to watch some of the other athletes again, which was great fun and just brings that whole CrossFit spirit to the forefront of the reason as to why we do these competitions. So in this WOD, I took most of the row buy-in, and it was really pleased with my pace. I found it a lot easier than I thought I would, and my legs were a lot stronger than I expected. I really found the warbles tough because of my recent back injury, and I was really worried of overextending. And I also find it hard to breathe because of the pressure of the warble in front on my lungs, and then also the pressure from my thighs on my belly. So just be aware that if you do warbles and you're pregnant, it's not as easy as it used to be. I really enjoyed that WOD and felt that Sam and I really worked as a team. They were movements that we're strong at, and really just relied on pure strength and endurance.
2 shoulder to overheads, which can be performed any way you want.
Back to some stretches, mainly focused on my wrists in preparation for the cleans and front squats that we have to come. So I started off the WOD with my cleans. So we're doing as many cleans as possible in a minute, followed by Sam, and then we had to do that twice. I then started 1 minute of front squats and then prepped my bar for my heavy 1 squat clean into 2 overhead press. So I failed my first attempt. I didn't do a full squat clean, and to be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. My head was totally in the clouds. So this is my heaviest lift at 48.5 kilos, which I was so pleased with because I failed the previous attempt twice. And that was it. The whole competition is now over. I spent the last 45 minutes cooling down with static stretches because I find that if I don't, my body now, since being pregnant, becomes so stiff and uncomfortable in the evening. Aside from that, that was the most exercise I'd done in a very long time, and obviously stretching is really, really important from a mobility perspective, but also from a postural perspective and then a pain relief perspective. So we've just left the competition. We're on our way to our house, where we will then take the dog for a walk because we've left him for quite a while. He did have a check-in, but we'll get a walk done. and then we'll probably head to Waitrose to get food for dinner and relax for the rest of the day, because I'm pretty sure our bodies are going to be very sore for the next 2 to 3 days. But other than that, we had fun, didn't we?
We did.
What was your favourite part?
The donut.
It was really nice. We tried these Timbits. Never heard of them before, never like tried them, but they were really nice. And we also left before the awards and podium, so we don't actually know what happened, but we know we didn't win. I think we knew the top 3 winners because they just excelled. I don't think we were top 10, but that's ambitious.
Pretty big on the last workout.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to be top 10. I'd be really happy if we got top 10, but I have a feeling we might be top 15. So I'm sure we'll find out via social media. I spent the rest of the day eating and resting, and then in the evening I had some Cocoa Pops, but I actually didn't have Cocoa Pops. I had Choco Rice because I get them from Aldi, and Cocoa Pops don't taste as nice as the one in Aldi. And that was it. All done. Sit here. Good boy. Right, sit down. Sit down. Good. You look nice there. So it is Sunday evening. It is a full, essentially 24 hours after the competition, and I'm going to be giving you a debrief. So totally out of the whole day, I would say that it was such a great day. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever you want to say. We scored 14 out of 27 teams, which I'm really, really pleased about. I'm just looking down at my notes because there's lots of numbers and things that I need to refer back to. So as a whole, we did really well. We really enjoyed it. We left the competition feeling we did what we could do on the day. As I said earlier, I was really anxious and really scared about re-injuring myself. So the fact that I didn't hurt myself and that I had fun meant that it was a great day and really enjoyable, and reminded me why I love CrossFit so much. I'm going to break it down a little bit further into the WODS as to where we placed and a little bit more about each WOD and where we went to. So WOD 1 was a buy-in of nothing. That wasn't a buy-in. My brain, it's Sunday afternoon. WOD 1 was 21:59. So you would do 21 calories on the Echo bike, 21 pull-ups, and then 21 box jump burpees. Then you would do 15 of each, and then you would do 9. But before you moved on to the next level of number, you were to do 2 full wall walks. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't do this workout RX because I couldn't do burpees RX and I couldn't do wall walks RX just because I'm pregnant. Physically, I could probably do them, but from a safety perspective, it just wasn't a good idea. So, for example, the reason I couldn't classify my burpees as RX was because I would go down onto my hands, jump back, jump my hands back to my feet, stand up, jump on the box. But because I couldn't release my hands off the floor, it doesn't count. So we had to go scaled. For the wall walks, I still went upside down. I just didn't go with my chest to the wall. And that was also another reason. I think if they were to let me do the burpees and classify as RX, then I probably would have done a full wall walk each time. But because there was no point, I wouldn't have gained anything from it, I didn't. So because we had to go scaled, we lost so many points, and we placed 24th out of 27 in the whole round for WOD 1. And that is simply just down to the fact that we were classified as scaled. We did the whole workout in 10 minutes and 56, which I would say is just above the average time. The quickest time was 7 minutes 16. And then the people who placed second in the whole competition did it in 9 minutes and 48 seconds. So you can really see a difference. And they placed 6th in that workout. So We weren't far off, basically a whole minute after the team who came second in the whole workout, in the whole competition. It is a real shame because I think we could have done really well. Like, we would have definitely have got top 10 just if we could have classified ourselves as RX in WOD 1. And unfortunately, it's just unfair. Like, that's, at the end of the day, it's just unfair that we couldn't do RX. They weren't willing to give us kind of alternative movements, which I totally understand. What alternative movement can you give? I did pretty much the whole burpee except for the part where you put your body on the floor. So I think that was the thing that really held us back. We did it in the time given, which was 14 minutes. So we did it in 10 minutes and 56 seconds. We probably could have gone a bit quicker. However, as I said, we just didn't know what to expect from myself. I didn't want to be sick. I didn't want to start the whole competition off feeling rubbish. The next workout, WOD 2, was a buy-in of 50 calories on the rower, 25 double unders, 10 butterfly sit-ups, and 5 wall balls, as many rounds as possible. So it was an AMRAP and 12-minute AMRAP, and we did 10 full rounds plus 33 reps, which we were really happy with. I guess the only thing we could have probably done a bit quicker was the calories on the rowing machine. However, again, like, just not sure how we were going to feel on the day. With the rest of the movements, we were super efficient and worked really well together. Never unbroken. Never broken up reps. Skipping was always 25 double unders. So not a problem at all. Really enjoyable WOD, actually. Really enjoyed that one, and came out of it feeling strong. And we placed 11th out of the whole group. So really pleased with that, considering I'm pregnant. Really happy. And then it was WOD 3. So WOD 3 was broken into 3 parts. Part A was as many power cleans as you can in 1 minute. Then your partner does the same thing. Then you do the same, then you do it again 1 more time. My weightage was 35 kilos, his was 50 kilos. So we did it RX. I don't know how many reps we got, but we placed 15th out of 27 people for that part. Then for part 2 was front squat, 35 kilo front squats for me, as many reps in a minute, followed by Sam, as many reps in a minute times 2. We also placed 15th in that. So we're very consistent. But then for part 3, we did exceptionally well. And we placed 4th out of the whole competition. So it was your heaviest or your accumulated weight as a pair, a squat clean into 2 shoulder press. So our total score was 127.5 kilos. And that gave us a 4th placing. Really pleased. We did really well. We only had 5 minutes to achieve it, so we're fatigued. It was the last part of the day, and we still managed to place really well. I really enjoy weightlifting, powerlifting. It's really something I get a lot from because of the amount of skill that goes into those movements. And as I said at the beginning, all of those points and the way that we did and worked the competition meant that we placed 14th overall out of 2017s. So what we could have done better, I think, is probably could have gone faster on the AMRAP and the first WOD. So WOD 1 and WOD 2, AMRAP and 21:59. But as I said, I'm pregnant, and it's a really hard thing when you just don't know how your body's going to perform. You don't want to push yourself so hard that it becomes unenjoyable. And you don't want to put yourself at risk. And that's something that's always at the back of my head. Alongside with that, Sam went in with that mentality, and I'm so grateful because there was absolutely no pressure on me as an athlete to perform to his level. He's not physically pregnant, he's not injured, and he's an exceptional athlete. So there's always going to be an element of pressure. However, it just wasn't kind of placed on me because he went in with the mindset of, my wife's pregnant, I'm not going to push her, we're just going to have fun. What we could have done differently, I think, is being a bit more tactical. For WOD 1, we did do RX movements, even though it was a scaled workout. So what I mean by that is the scaled workout meant that you could do jumping pull-ups, and you could also do burpee box jump step up. So you're stepping up instead of jumping up. And the wall walks didn't have to be a full wall walk. However, we both did kipping pull-ups. So we did the RX pull-ups. We did burpee box jumps. So we didn't do step ups. And when we did the wall walk, Sam was doing a full wall walk. So that basically just made us feel good about ourselves, because we pushed ourselves, we challenged ourselves, and we were true to who we were as athletes. We're not going to do scaled versions if we can know we can do the RX version. However, it meant that our scoring wasn't great. And then what we're really happy about the weightlifting stuff. I was super scared about that part because I was scared to get injured. Just lifting, I think I had 47 kilos on the bar, 47 kilos in total. So just pushing that above my head twice, I was really worried about my back, since I'd only injured myself 2 weeks ago. And the other side of things is just, I don't want to feel nauseous, that I'm just not enjoying it and I make myself cry. And I didn't get to that point, and I'm really happy that I didn't get to that point, and that I just really enjoyed the day and really enjoyed supporting all the other teams. So that's kind of my summary and debrief of the day. Yesterday when we got home, we were exhausted. I went to bed at about 9 p.m. I didn't fall asleep until about 10 though, just because I'm really uncomfortable when I'm sleeping at the moment. I then woke up at about 7:30 a.m. feeling the effects of the workout. So the parts of my body that hurt the most, so my traps, my forearms, and I think that's pretty much it. Like, I can't feel anything right now. And I'm convinced tomorrow I will be more sore than I am today, just because I'm hardly aching, if that makes sense. I still feel worked out, but not nearly as much as I thought I would. So that could just be because I haven't pushed myself hard enough, but that could also just be because I'm pregnant and your body responds differently. Who knows? So will I be doing a CrossFit competition again later on in my pregnancy? Probably not, just because I'd only be willing to do in-house competitions. Will I continue to do CrossFit competitions post-pregnancy? Absolutely. And will I be doing CrossFit during my second and third, or the rest of my second trimester and third trimester? I am going to try. After yesterday, I just really got that buzz and just thought, I really want to go back to this. So I have contacted the gym and said, can I just do 2 months of membership? So February and March, I'm due at the end of May. So that gives me the last 2 months in the third trimester to not put too much pressure on myself, just do as much active movement and exercise as I can outside of CrossFit. So that means just strength training, yoga, walking, that type of stuff. But then prior to that, if I feel like I can go to a CrossFit session, do a CrossFit session. If I feel like I can do a powerlifting session, do a powerlifting session, because right now my energy is high enough. I'm confident enough that I can. And I really just don't want to lose my skill and muscle and confidence in movement. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the rest of my fitness regime throughout the second half of my second trimester and third trimester. My body's feeling good, and we'll see how it goes. You're gorgeous.